Howdy everyone, this is Becky Tobes and I am the Crafty Tamarita. If you are watching me live, thank you so much. I know I'm coming on a couple of hours earlier than I normally do because unfortunately I have a funeral to attend at my normally scheduled time. So I'm coming live a couple of hours earlier. So whether you're watching me live or you're catching me on the replay, as always, I am truly appreciative of the fact that you're spending some time with me. So today I'm excited to share with you a card sketch that I came across. It's from I should have memorized the name, Creative Collab Crew. And in fact, I just printed it out. I forgot to take it out of my printer. I'll show you the sketch design. And the minute I saw it, I fell in love with it because it just makes such great use of our designer series paper. It really shows off the beautiful nature of our paper. I mean, I know sometimes we're a little bit hesitant to chop it all up, but I tell you, when you put it together in this sketch design, it's really beautiful. So I loved it so much that it's the design that I use for my swaps because, as some of you may know, I'll be attending on stage in Sydney. So I'll be leaving in a few days. And if you're not familiar with how on stage works, basically those who attend, the demonstrators who attend, we like to make cards and we swap with one another. It's a great way to just see the creative nature of everyone and to see what they come up with. Because I tell you, these ladies come up with some pretty awesome projects. So I'll be sharing with you the design that I made for my card swap. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch my screen here. And I'm just going to run to my printer real quick. I'm so sorry. My printer doesn't print very well. So, it's not showing up the best, but this is the design. And what I'll do is when I'm all done, I will post a copy of this onto attach it to my live so that you can see and you can get it for yourself. Okay. Or if you want just the picture itself, message me and I'll send it to you. Okay. All right. All right. Let me put this aside. Let me show you the the designer series paper that I'm using for today's live. So I used this last week. You can tell how much I loved it. It's called the Painted Illusions. This is the product of the month for February. And I just checked and it's still available. So if you didn't already get it, there's still time. Remember, for the product of the month, it's while supplies last. So they'll sell it. They'll have it available until there's no more. And it's $5. So when you place your order of $75 or more, there's going to be a bar that shows in the top and it tells you how much you've earned to reach the $75. But you have to make sure that you put it in your cart, because if you don't put it in your cart, you're not going to get it. Okay. So I used the Painted Illusions DSP. This is my favorite paper. This is what I'm using for my swap. It's called Nature Walk. Gorgeous paper. You see me use this before. And I brought back an oldie but goodie. I love this paper. This is the Kintsugi Inspiration. It's the Japanese style where they fill in the cracks in their pottery with gold and it comes up with, something beautiful. I love this paper. Okay. So let me show you the card that we're going to be making and an example of it. It looks like this. Isn't this pretty? Right? I just love it. Look at all the pretty designer series paper. All right, so let me put this aside and let me get my sketch design. Normally I tape this up so I can see it. Let me see if I could just put it up there and it'll hold. So I pre-cut all of the pieces. I'm not going to go through and tell you what all the dimensions are because I'm going to post it so that you can see it when I post it. I do recommend, though, that when you cut the pieces, lay them out according to the sketch, because even though it looks like these long pieces are the same, they're not. These 3 pieces are the same measurement and these 2 pieces are the same. So you have to be careful not to mix it up. Okay. All right. I've already done like 30 of these. So I decided I'm going to make 30 swaps. Let me grab my pick here. When you're putting it together, I highly recommend, like with all the time, is make sure that you kind of place it down to make sure how everything is going to look before you actually glue it. So even though I may have cut the paper according to the dimension size, sometimes, you know, who knows, it may be a little bit too long, maybe a little bit too short. See, like this one over here, I can already tell that this is too long and I'm going to have to cut it. Okay, and what works for me, I've tried different ways to do this. What works for me is I start off by gluing the bottom 3. Just make sure I turn that around so I glue the right side. Put glue on the right side. You can use whatever adhesive you like, but you know me, my adhesive of choice is the Tombow, the green glue. And you're just going to make sure that you leave a little bit of a border. The base of the card that we're putting this on is the regular 4 by 5 1/4. Then I'm just going to put the corner one in here. If your spacing doesn't come out to be exactly like you want it, don't worry about it. Nobody's going to care. The only one who's really going to care about it is you. So I'm just going to put this down so I can kind of estimate how much I need to cut off. I'm just going to use my snips. Cut a piece off, and before I glue it, yep, okay. I just want to make sure that I cut enough off so that way I could see the white border around it. Okay, and then the next 2, as you guys can see, I'm putting these 2 pieces on. It just worked better for me to work from the bottom up, but you can do, you know, you can do whatever placement you want. And then I'm going to do the last 2 on top, but before I glue it, I'm just going to make sure that it's okay. Yep, it's okay. In terms of cutting it, I'm still going to have enough to show the border. Isn't it turning out so pretty? Now, if you discover that you're going to put it down and it may be a little bit long, see, like it looked okay when I first did it, but I could tell it's a little bit long. So before it has a time to set, I'm just going to cut a sliver off this piece. So just always kind of be mindful before everything sets that it's working out okay. All right, so this is how this looks like. All right, I've got to move these things out of the way so I can get to the stuff that I need to. I just kind of dumped everything and now it's covering the parts that I need. I cut the base, and because this is Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo for the base. And this is your usual 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to put that on. And then let me show you what I'm using for my images and my sentiment. So I'm using the Greenery Lane bundle. So it comes with a die set, and it comes with the stamp set and a die set. Very pretty because it has leaves and then it has flowers. Very pretty to work with. Okay, and the sentiment that I'm going to use is the one that says love and hugs. Because the colors are kind of bright and cheery, I wanted to do a happy sentiment. So later on, I could decide with the love and hugs to make this a birthday card, or whatever you want it to be. Love and hugs is a pretty generic saying, so you can use it for any occasion. And I'm stamping it with Flirty Flamingo to match the base of the card. And I just use my circle punch for this. You know me, if I can get away with using a punch rather than a die, you better believe I'm going to use the punch. Plus, my shoulder has been giving me trouble for months. I mean, months. I had to go to my massage therapist a couple of days ago because, I was really worried that I didn't want to be in so much pain and have to handle all my luggage. I really miss when my husband doesn't go with me because he takes care of all the luggage. Okay. Sorry, my flower dropped. I'm just going to pick it up real quick. Okay, and I'm just going to put this on dimensionals. So be staying tuned, so that when I'm actually on stage, you can see all of the wonderful things that are happening there. I mean, it's just such a wonderful opportunity. It really is. So this year on stage, they always have it at 3 locations. So it's going to be at Long Beach, California, and the other one's going to be in Sydney, Australia, and then the last location is in Cologne, Germany. But when I priced everything out, it was actually cheaper for me to go to Sydney. Plus, who wouldn't want to go to Sydney, right? I've been there one time before, so I'm excited to go back. And then I get to hopefully meet in person the demonstrators who I've been seeing on Zoom. We've been meeting for our accountability group. So I'm so excited to get to meet them in person. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this using my Tombow glue. I should have checked to see that I had enough space for this to fit inside my circle because this is a pretty big image. And I should have checked. Okay, let me see where my dimensionals are so I could tuck it in between. Or another thing I could do is just go in the corner. That'll work. It's okay. Okay, and this one I want to make sure it can fit as well. I think I'm going to have to tuck it in the corner. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, let me see. I should have done this before I glued everything down. I think the corner will work. The right-hand side will work better. So what I did with this one, you guys, is I just die cut it ahead of time. And I stamped some of the images ahead of time and die cut it. Mostly so that you don't have to watch me do it. Because you guys know what I'm doing, right? Hopefully. And if you don't know what I'm doing, because you may be new to stamping, reach out to me, and I can kind of walk you through the process. And here's the last flower. This one I stamped it and then I die cut it. And I'm using the Darling Duckling to match the yellow that's in this paper. So everything coordinates very nicely. Now, I didn't get out on my gems. Oh, man, I forgot to put the weaving. I was supposed to put the weaving. I just got this in yesterday. This is called, does it have a name on it? Oh, it doesn't have the name on this, but look at that ribbon. Isn't this gorgeous? So pretty. So because I forgot to put it behind it, let me see if I could just do a quick bow and see how that will work. I haven't tried doing a bow with this ribbon. Let's see if it works out because it's very, it's not in one piece. So I'm just being very careful with it just to make sure I don't tear it. It doesn't feel fragile, but you just never know, right? You just never know. Better be safe than sorry. I should have looked at my sample to remind me to put the the ribbon behind it, but oh well. Okay, so this one doesn't look like it pulls too well, so I think I'm just gonna, it's not even, but it's okay, but I don't want to tear the ribbon, so I'm gonna stop there. Cut that. And Let's see, will it be okay here? Yeah, that'll work, right? That'll work. It doesn't look too out of place. And let me just grab my glue dots. These glue dots from our kits come in so handy. So what I typically do is I take my pick and I twirl the adhesive with it, and then I put it down. Another way that you can do it is to just take the whole circle, put it down, and then take off the back. This part it's a little bit harder to do it that way. That's why I don't like to do it this way, but I just wanted to show you what the options are. And then I'm just going to put it back in here where I originally planned. And these glue dots are pretty strong. They will hold. And there you go. Let me fold it, burnish it, and then later on I can decorate the inside. I think what I'm going to do when I do the inside of this is I'm just going to use the designer series paper so that it coordinates with what's in the front. So what I may end up doing is just putting little slivers all the way around just to coordinate with the front of the card. So this is the card that I just made today. This is the card that I did to prep. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I put vellum in the back of it because when you put an image on top of all of the designer series paper, it tends to look a little bit busy. So to try to detract from that, I wanted to make sure that there was something in back of it so that you could see the design of the image and the die cuts without taking away from the beauty of the designer series paper. And here's that ribbon I was telling you about. I just put it behind the sentiment, and this one is wishing you well. And again, this comes from the Greenery Lane bundle. Okay, so those are the two cards that I made with the painted Illustrations Designer Series paper. And let me show you what I did with the Kintsugi one. I love this paper. I'm so tempted to get more before it goes away. This came from the annual catalog. And so here I made it a birthday card, and I just die cut the images from the designer series paper, and I put a little gold behind it. And then I put the white die cut just to kind of offset the design from the rest of the paper. And this is my card for my swap. So here I'm using the Nature's Walk stamp set. I love this die. I absolutely love this die. And then I'm just using circle punches because, and then I put this one in the back just to kind of minimize the die cutting that I'm going to have to do. So I don't know, because my shoulder has been giving me difficulty, I may just ask my husband to do the die cutting for me. He doesn't know that yet, but sometimes when I'm in a pinch, like if I'm going to be leaving off island and I don't have enough time, I implore his help. And he's so good because he'll just do it and he won't complain. So I may just end up asking him just to do the die cut to minimize my shoulder work. You know, I'm really trying to baby my shoulder so that it doesn't give me problems on the trip. So that's it for today. I'm not going to be going live next week because I will be at Onstage, but just be tuning in to my page because I'll be going live throughout Onstage to kind of give you a glimpse of what happens when we go, and hopefully that will give you the idea that this is something that you can attend to as a demonstrator. It's only open to demonstrators, but I tell you, it's such a wonderful event. I mean, I can describe it, but I think the full impact of it, you won't really appreciate it until you attend one of these events live yourself. And, you know, I've been able to attend the ones in North America, in Europe, and now this will be my first time going to the South Pacific. So once I attend this one, all three will be complete. I've completed the triangle, you know, the trifecta of places where Stampin' Up! Holds Onstage. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, for following, and if you haven't done that, maybe watching this video will inspire you to do so. Also, I have a monthly newsletter that I send out, and if you'd like to receive the newsletter, please message me and let me know. Send me your email, and I'll include you in that. All right, everyone, have a wonderful weekend ahead, and I'll see you next week. Bye.